If you're working hard, saving money, and still wondering why you're not getting ahead, you've been lied to. And the worst part? Those lies were taught to you in school by the very system that was supposed to prepare you for life. In 2025, money moves faster than ever before. New industries are exploding, digital wealth is being created overnight, and yet millions of people are still stuck playing by outdated rules. Rules like go to college, get a safe job, save for retirement, and buy a house as soon as you can. Sound familiar? That formula might have worked in 1975, but today it's a trap. In this video, I'm exposing 10 of the biggest wealth myths that school, society, and even your parents might have told you were facts. These myths are silently keeping you broke, while others, who learned how the real game of money works, are building wealth faster than ever. It's time to break free from the lies, unlearn what's holding you back, and unlock the truth about building real wealth in today's economy. Let's break the cycle, starting now. Myth number 1, go to school, get good grades, and you'll be rich. This is the first and most dangerous lie school teaches. It sounds harmless, even noble, but in 2025, it's outdated advice. School tells you that success comes from memorizing information, getting good grades, and following rules. But here's the reality. The world doesn't reward A students. It rewards problem solvers, creators, and risk takers. We now live in a skills-based economy. That means your ability to adapt, learn fast, and solve real-world problems is more valuable than any diploma. Think about it. How many top earners do you know that rely on a resume today? Entrepreneurs, influencers, coders, consultants. Many didn't follow the traditional path, and they're winning. Schools don't teach you how money works. They don't teach taxes, investing, negotiation, or even how to manage a credit score, all essential in the real world. Instead, they teach obedience. They train you to be an employee in someone else's dream, not the architect of your own. In 2025, the most valuable currency is attention, speed, and leverage. That's why creators, tech-savvy freelancers, and digital entrepreneurs are building income streams from their laptops, while someone with a PhD may still be stuck in debt. The bottom line? Education matters, but only when it gives you leverage. If school isn't building wealth skills, it's just expensive tradition. Don't worship the grade. Worship growth, grit, and goals. Myth number 2, saving money will make you wealthy. This is one of the biggest financial myths keeping people poor, and it's baked into everything we're taught from a young age. Save your money, don't spend, be frugal, live below your means. Sounds responsible, right? In reality, it's financial handcuffs. Here's the truth. Saving money doesn't make you rich. Investing it does. When you save money in 2025, that cash is quietly losing value due to inflation. Prices are rising faster than your savings account can grow. That $10,000 in your bank, in 10 years, it might only buy $7,000 worth of stuff. The traditional save for retirement advice came from a time when banks offered 5 to 7% interest and the dollar was strong. That world is gone. Today, the bank gives you less than 1% interest on your savings while inflation eats 5 to 7% every year. That's not saving. That's losing, slowly. Wealthy people don't save. They store money in assets. Assets like real estate, stocks, businesses, digital products, or even crypto. These grow your money while you sleep. That's how rich people think. Poor and middle-class people park money. Rich people put it to work. School never teaches this. They teach you to play it safe. But playing it safe in today's world is the riskiest thing you can do. Instead of saving your way to wealth, learn how to invest, scale income, and protect your buying power. Frugality won't make you rich. Only smart, calculated risk, backed by knowledge will. Myth number 3, time is money. This one sounds like wisdom, but it's actually a trap. You've probably heard it 1,000 times. Time is money. But in 2025, that mindset will keep you poor. Why? Because it teaches you to trade time for money. And there's a limit to how many hours you can work. If you make $25 an hour, your earnings are capped. Even if you work 16-hour days, you're still stuck in the time for money trap. Wealthy people don't trade time for money. They build systems. They use automation, investments, teams, and technology to create income that flows in whether they work or not. That's leverage, and it's the real secret to wealth. If time was truly money, the hardest workers in the world would be the richest. But we both know that's not true. Factory workers, teachers, nurses, they work long, hard hours, yet struggle financially. Meanwhile, someone with a few online products, investments, or scalable business can make thousands a day while sleeping. Here's the new truth. Time is only money if you're broke. Once you understand leverage, time becomes your most powerful multiplier. The goal isn't to sell your hours, it's to free your hours. School doesn't teach this. It teaches punctuality, obedience, and hourly thinking. It trains you for a job, not for freedom. But in today's world, with tools like AI, e-commerce, and automation, your time should be used to build assets, not rent your life away hour by hour. Rich people ask, how can I make money work for me, even when I'm not working? That's the question that shifts your mindset forever. Myth number 4, debt is bad. Avoid it at all costs. From a young age, we're taught that debt is dangerous, that you should avoid credit cards, never take loans, and always pay with cash. It sounds like smart advice, until you realize the wealthy use debt to get richer. Let's break it down. There are 2 types of debt. 1, bad debt, the kind school warns you about. This is credit card debt, car loans for luxury vehicles, or taking loans for things that lose value. 2, good debt, the kind wealthy people use strategically. This is debt used to buy assets that create cash flow, like real estate, businesses, or income-producing investments. Poor and middle-class people avoid all debt, even the kind that could help them grow. Meanwhile, the rich borrow hundreds of thousands, even millions, not to consume, but to invest. They let other people pay off their debt while they collect profits. Here's a simple example. A wealthy person takes out a loan to buy a rental property. Tenants pay rent. That rent covers the mortgage and leaves extra cash every month. Over time, the property grows in value. The loan gets paid down, and the owner builds wealth with other people's money. School never explains this. Instead, it tells you to pay off all debt before investing, which could take decades. But by then, inflation has eroded your dollars and opportunities have passed. In 2025, smart use of credit is a weapon. Your credit score isn't just a number, it's a tool for leverage. The problem isn't debt, it's not knowing how to use it. The truth, debt isn't bad. Ignorant debt is bad. Strategic debt builds empires. Myth number 5, job security is the ultimate goal. This myth was built in the industrial age, when staying at one company for 40 years meant loyalty, benefits, and a gold watch at retirement. But in 2025, that idea is extinct. School teaches you to crave job security, a stable paycheck, health benefits, and maybe a 401k. But here's the ugly truth. Job security is an illusion. Companies lay people off during recessions, outsource roles to cheaper labor, or replace them with AI. One policy shift or market crash, and your secure job is gone. Wealthy people don't chase job security, they chase income security. That means building multiple income streams so you're never dependent on one paycheck or one boss. Let's be real, your job can disappear overnight, but the skills, systems, and income streams you build on your own terms, those stay with you. That's real security, the kind school never teaches you. We're living in a world where creators, consultants, coders, and even teenagers are earning more than college professors without job security. Why? Because they control their income, not a company. The lesson? Don't aim for job security. Aim for freedom, options, and leverage. A job can be part of your journey, but it shouldn't be the finish line. Security isn't about working for someone else. It's about never needing to. Myth number 6, your income reflects your intelligence or effort. This myth is subtle and dangerous. We're told that if we're smart and work hard, we'll be successful. That if someone earns more than you, it's because they're smarter or more disciplined. That's false. In 2025, your income has little to do with how smart or how hard you work. It has everything to do with how much value you can provide at scale and how well you can package, position, and leverage that value. Let's break that down. A janitor might work harder than a software engineer, physically. A teacher might be smarter than a YouTuber academically. But the software engineer and YouTuber often earn more. Why? Because their work scales, their skills are in demand, and their impact is multiplied by tools and technology. School doesn't teach you how to scale your value. It teaches you how to be useful in a small system. where your effort equals your pay. But the real world rewards those who figure out how to detach effort from income. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter with leverage, using digital tools, automation, media, or teams to amplify your output. Here's the truth. You can be brilliant and broke if no one knows how to access your value. On the flip side, someone average can earn millions if they understand how to market, position, and scale what they offer. If you want to escape the myth, shift your question from how do I earn more to how can I deliver more value to more people with less effort. That's when your income becomes exponential, not linear. Myth number 7, buying a house is always a smart investment. This one hits hard because for decades, owning a home was considered the ultimate symbol of success. Your parents probably told you, stop renting, buy a house. That's how you build wealth. And back then, it kind of made sense. But in 2025, it's not always true, and sometimes it's flat out wrong. Let's be clear. Owning a home can be smart if it's done strategically, but school and society never teach strategy. They teach tradition, and tradition says your home is your biggest asset. But the truth is, your home is usually your biggest liability. Why? Because it takes money out of your pocket every month. Mortgage payments, property taxes, repairs, maintenance, insurance, and interest. All of that drains cash flow. Unless your house generates income, like a rental property, it's not putting money in your pocket. That's not an investment, that's a cost. Meanwhile, some renters are investing the money they didn't lock into a down payment and building far more wealth than homeowners drowning in debt and expenses. The housing market in 2025 is unpredictable. With interest rates fluctuating, property values swinging, and inflation affecting everything from lumber to labor, buying a house without understanding the financial implications can bury you. School won't teach you to run the math. It just pushes the American dream. But here's the new dream: freedom. And freedom doesn't come from tying yourself to a 30-year mortgage on a home you can barely afford. Instead of blindly buying, ask, is this house a true asset or just emotional debt in disguise? Myth number 8, college is the best path to success. This one might sting because most of us were programmed from childhood to believe that college is mandatory for success. In fact, it's so ingrained that questioning it feels almost disrespectful. But let's face it, in 2025, this advice is completely outdated. College used to be a golden ticket, but now it's a $100,000 gamble, one that leaves millions in student debt with no guarantee of a return. Degrees are everywhere. Skills, much rarer. The world no longer cares where you went to school. It cares about what you can do. Let's say you're a business owner looking to hire someone. Are you checking their GPA or their ability to solve real problems, drive results, and adapt fast? In the digital economy, it's skills over certificates every time. There are millionaires on YouTube, freelancers making 6 figures without a degree, tech professionals learning AI, coding, and design through online platforms for a fraction of the cost of college. Meanwhile, degree holders are competing for entry-level jobs that barely cover rent. Does this mean college is worthless? But it's only worth it if 1. You have a clear ROI. 2. You're entering a field where a degree is legally required like law or medicine. 3. You're not going into debt for it. Otherwise, you're just buying into a system that profits off your belief in its prestige, not your outcomes. The new rule: don't buy education, buy results. Myth number 9, being self-employed equals freedom. This one's tricky because it sounds like the truth. We're told to be your own boss, start a business, escape the 9-to-5. And while that can be the path to freedom, most people end up self-employed but still stuck. Here's why. They don't build a business, they build a job they own. And often it's worse than a 9-to-5 because now they work 24/7. No vacation, no clocking out, and no real leverage. Being self-employed doesn't guarantee freedom. If you're still trading time for money, even under your own brand, you're not free. You've just upgraded your boss from someone else to yourself. True financial freedom doesn't come from self-employment. It comes from systems, automation, teams, and passive income. A business isn't a business unless it can function without you. If you stop working and your income stops too, that's not freedom. That's a trap in disguise. School teaches you to work hard. Hustle culture pushes you to grind. But wealth comes from working smart, building something that doesn't need you in every role just to survive. Self-employment is a stage, not the destination. Use it to gain skills, build systems, and scale beyond yourself. That's when entrepreneurship becomes liberation, not another cage. Myth number 10, talking about money is rude. This myth is one of the most silent killers of wealth because it's not about numbers. It's about mindset. School, family, culture, they all subtly or openly teach you that money is a taboo topic, that talking about it makes you greedy, that asking for more makes you selfish, that wanting wealth is somehow wrong. But let's get real. How can you master something you're afraid to talk about? We don't say it's rude to talk about health, family, or happiness. So why money? Why keep the one thing that fuels your choices, your freedom, your future, locked behind silence? Here's the truth. Rich people talk about money constantly. They talk about deals, investments, tax strategy, passive income, business structure, capital, risk, opportunity. Not because they're greedy, but because they understand that money is a tool, a powerful one. If you grow up never hearing how to negotiate, save, scale, or invest, how are you supposed to win the financial game? You won't, because you were never even taught the rules. In 2025, the people who are winning are the ones having real conversations about money. They're learning from mentors, watching content like this, and surrounding themselves with others who think in abundance, not shame. Money isn't evil, silence is, because silence breeds ignorance, and ignorance keeps you poor. Break the cycle. Talk about money. Learn its language. Play to win. So now you know the truth. For years, you were taught to play a game that was rigged from the start. School didn't prepare you for freedom. It prepared you for obedience. It trained you to follow, not to lead. It trained you to work, not to build wealth. But now, you're awake. You've just learned the 10 myths that have been quietly sabotaging your financial future. And here's the crazy part. Most people will never question them. They'll keep grinding, keep saving, keep believing that hard work alone will make them rich, while the rules of the game keep changing. But not you. You made it to the end. And that tells me something. You're not afraid to unlearn. You're not afraid to challenge what you were told. And you're definitely not afraid to take control of your future. Because in 2025, wealth belongs to the informed, the adaptable, and the bold. So here's what you do next. If this video opened your eyes, like it, share it, and make sure you subscribe. This channel is here to give you the truth schools never will, practical, uncensored, wealth-building knowledge for the real world. And in the comments, drop this: no more myths. I choose freedom. Let me know you're part of the new generation that plays to win. Remember, you weren't born to be broke. You were just taught wrong. It's time to unlearn the lies and build a future on your terms. Stay sharp, stay hungry, stay free.